Well, so first of all, I think like typically for the food piece, right? Like stereotypically, it almost always falls to the wife. So like it is a more common skill for women to learn, and I think most women like grow up, their moms like just kind of like teach you along the way, right? But I will say, if you're a dude and you want to score a hot chick,
learn to cook.
Learn to cook. If I was on a date with a guy like after a couple months and like he was like, come over, I'm gonna cook you a dinner, I'd be like, and it was good, I'd be like, great, wow, keeper, right? Like that is huge.
Yeah. That's always in the men's magazines of like ways to really lock it in with a girl is like cook her dinner.
Yeah, like I'm not saying you have to be a chef, although some of my girlfriends are like, oh, my husband, like, okay, so there's this couple in our neighborhood, they're older than us, they have kids like in high school, and like and the husband is like, I mean, he's a surgeon, right? Like he's like a big deal. But he is the cook of the house. She's like, oh yeah, like when we have people over, like we were over there to like do this event, and he's like, can I make you guys, like, do you want nachos? Do you want this? Do you want that? I was like, oh my, like this is amazing. Like the fact that he's just like doing this, right? So I would say like, you want to score some points, like that's like a great thing to know how to do.
I think that's a staple for both
people
to
be
able to do.
Cook.
I'm not saying, like you said, it doesn't have to be a gourmet meal, but to be able to...
Even though mine are. Just...
Yes.
Some people have to learn how to cook because...
But so that there's no...
I know.
Just because I know, like, for instance, your father never cooked.
No.
He would not be
burn bread.
He wouldn't be able to...
Yeah.
So if it was left to her father, he wouldn't have been able to provide...
Feed me.
For the family at that time.
Like, you know.
And again,
or we'd have McDonald's.
Or have to be those alternatives because of that.
I think also if you don't know, 10 years ago, they didn't know each other, who they would marry. So yes, if you know, okay, I'm going to marry someone that's going to do this, I don't have to learn it, but you don't know. So you really have to be self-sufficient.
Well, so we could, in this hypothetical scenario, we could, for their sake, on their behalf, we can say, one of you is going to specialize in this, and the other one's not going to worry about it. Because
I think basic skills, regardless, are necessary.
Okay, so
boiling a pot of water, throwing pasta in it. Like
just because future-wise, even if Jill is more capable of cooking, if Jill has a great career and isn't home in time, and then you have kids and someone needs to make them dinner, and you want it to be healthy, and I think Jack has to have some skills, or vice versa. Whatever it is, I think it's important for them to be able to.
But you said that your dad could not cook, but did he grill? Or was not that wasn't even
pieces, but he really couldn't.
No, but your mother would prep it. No, but your mother prepped it all. So if it was grilling, he would put it on there a little bit. You're right. The barbecue chicken was always crispy.
Well, because it's interesting, right? Because I think about that. Like, I feel like stereotypically, like I have no idea how to grill. I don't know how to turn the barbecue on.
I've learned it. I've tried to teach myself, but I'm nervous about it.
Yeah. Like, I'll cook anything in the kitchen, but I won't grill. I feel like if you want to stereotype things, like,
well, we
the
don't
guy
have
should
to.
know how to grill.
We could,
the girl should know how to, like,
bake.
And
I feel like men can't make a pie or a cake.
Can you make a pie or a cake?
Which is
yes. Recipes.
But we also...
I'm not afraid of a recipe, so that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like with cooking, you can just play around with stuff.
Yeah, see,
with the baking, it's a recipe you have to go by because you don't put enough of the baking soda, you do this.
It's like a science project. Yeah. Everything has to be properly measured.
Yeah, I'm not winging baking.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I'm very comfortable cooking anything that I can wing.
Yeah, he wants to make it up.
Yeah, see, I can't. I'm
so
actually incapable of doing that.
She made a chili last week and was like, "This is terrible."
I'm like, "We're gonna have to throw it all out. It's gross."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" I'm like,
"So I opened up the cabinet,
but I followed a recipe.
I threw a little bit of this. I threw a little bit of that."
And it was delicious, and I was like, I did all the prep and the cooking and the chopping in there, and you threw in some spices, and all of a sudden it's delicious.
Yeah, it's like,
so it happens to be a good compliment, I guess.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, that's ideal, right? Like, from the economics perspective, if two people have totally, if you have the same skill set, and you have the same weaknesses, you're no better off being married than single.
Right.
The whole idea is to have, like, I have a strength that is a weakness for you, and you have a strength that's a weakness for me. We're both better off being married. So, like, even if within the cooking realm we can break that down and say, like, men should be able to grill, make breakfast, and that's it. That's what I do.
Yeah. My dad would make a lot of breakfast for dinner. Like,
lunches,
if it was when my mom would work late nights at the hospital, my dad was like, it was always like pancake for dinner night. You're like,
Yeah, see, and I can do that. I'm good.